There is a strange void between the final pages of the Old Testament and the opening lines of the New, a silence that stretches for centuries. No prophecies, no voices from heaven, no signs from God, only a vast, echoing stillness as if the heavens had shut themselves. But just before that silence fell, there was one last voice. A warning, a final alarm, a flickering light before going out. That voice bore the name, Malachi. His name means, my messenger. But he didn't come to comfort. Malachi emerged in a time of spiritual apathy, when the people had returned from exile but had lost their way in their faith. They offered hollow sacrifices, kept rituals without heart. The priests no longer revered the holy name. Husbands betrayed the wives of their youth. The people complained against God, seeing the wicked thrive while they themselves suffered. Malachi did not speak softly. He was direct, urgent, confronting the people like a divine prosecutor. "Can a man rob God?" he asked, and then exposed how the people had cheated him in their tithes. But within the severity, there was still a glimmer of hope. "Return to me, and I will return to you." That was not merely a declaration, it was a doorway. One of the most haunting images is Malachi's prophecy of the day of the Lord, a day burning like a furnace. But within that fire, there was something unexpected. "For those who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings." In the same breath of judgment and warning, Malachi offered escape, a dawn beyond the darkness. And then silence. After Malachi, no more prophetic voices. The skies seemed sealed. But it wasn't the silence of finality. It was the hush of held breath, waiting for a thunderous arrival. Because Malachi's final words were the beginning of something far greater. "Behold, I will send you the prophet Elijah before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes." And centuries later, a man appeared in the wilderness, clothed in camel's hair, eating locusts and wild honey, crying out, "Prepare the way for the Lord." Malachi was the bridge, the final echo of an ancient promise, and the first stirrings of a new hope. He wasn't some distant mythical figure. He was a reminder that even in silence, God is preparing. That just before the light bursts forth, comes the deepest night. And if today you feel that God has been silent for too long, remember Malachi. Because sometimes, it is in the quiet, that transformation begins. And perhaps what sets Malachi apart most is not the voice he carried, but the silence that followed. A silence as if heaven held its breath. As if every angel paused mid-flight. Every wheel in heaven ceased to spin, just to see who among humanity would still seek the light in the darkness. Malachi is the final alarm, but also the echo of mercy. A voice in the drought, making way for the one who would not merely be a messenger, but the Word made flesh.